And now, our intrepid viewers, let's give you a glimpse into the chaotic flow of thought that is the mind of our plucky bard Nib here at the precipice of our latest chapter, shall we? 3 words. How can I be filled with such a blend of dread, hope, relief, and resignation at the utterance of 3 syllables? I've been trained all my life to use words to entertain, inform, and influence people. I thought myself a better than average crafter of such, but here I stand now, in the presence of one I cannot read and cannot fathom, as he has thrown all my theories and suppositions into chaos like dried leaves upon the autumn breeze, with just 3 words. Amateur. You thought you'd gotten things under some semblance of control, having gotten your friends to Greyfen and seemingly willing to follow a common course. Then when mistrust over a name gleamed from Quinn dropping eaves threatened to split us asunder once more, you had picked up the disparate pieces and were in mid-weaving when Xhenrak literally fell from the sky and declared we were in peril. His reasoning for this? His God told him so. Let's face it, you didn't really bat an eye at that, given everything else that's been happening since this carousel ride started spinning. You even chalked it up to bureaucratic interference when the beheaded stranger rode up to you on your way out of town and advised you all to get out, that you were in danger. You just kept rolling with the hits, knowing you'd regain your feet when you could. That storm that came up out of nowhere and seemed so out of place, blowing your camp apart and somehow whisking away treasured keepsakes in its blustery passing? Probably nothing. Coincidental chaos at best. Idiot. You know better, but lucky for you, whatever cosmic forces have decided to toss you lot like dice isn't being subtle, and suddenly the world seems like it's become unstuck in time. You're all flickering back and forth between the now and the then, or the then and the will be, or you don't even know, so stop pretending that you've got it all figured out. You see the clues, but you don't know the category of the puzzle, let alone what the picture's supposed to be. But please, by all means, start slapping them together. Finding the bell and the ribbon, seemingly aged incredibly in moments, spotting the cave that was, become the rubble pile that is. Put all those pieces into alignment and then pat yourself on the back about it while it lasts, because, look up, that rider silhouetted in the waning light. He's not just thin, he's downright, no, he's actually skeletal, as is the horse he's riding. And the hat the stranger wears looks awfully familiar. The one who called himself Eldric and warned you from town wore that hat not but hours ago, and he was alive and in the flesh. Then the 3 words came. They could have been a threat. They could have been a bold declaration. They could have been triumphal. Those are all ways in which those 3 are commonly used. But you'd swear, with all evidence to the contrary, that in this instance, uttered by a clearly long-dead being, they in fact held a simple and unmistakable tone of relief. I found you. Okay, storyteller, make something out of that now.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 9 of Rolling on D20s. I'm your host and DM, Nate. And again, I do this every week. This is an actual play D&D podcast. I don't know why I always forget that on the even episodes, but I do. So welcome to our actual play D&D podcast. If you're on episode 9 and don't realize that yet, I don't know what to tell you. I am joined, as always, by my 5 great players. Players, welcome. Let's start with
sports fans.
You were first last time, Sam. Stop hogging the attention.
I said play.
I just wanted to get it out there.
I said play an ASMR, not do ASMR. That's very different.
This week on Dungeons and Dragons.
This week on Dungeons and Dragons.
Another corner discovered.
There's a corner for that.
Now that we've lost half of our fan base and made the other half very excited,
But we've gained
let's go on
another.
with player introductions. David, we'll start with you. David, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I wasn't ready. I'm just going to say I was still laughing. I play Saval, the high elf warlock. And I guess we're all going to have to find our own corners at some point. We all need our own spot on that website where they can click in and find out more about us in each individual corner.
Great idea. Why haven't
It's
we
just-
talked about that?
Each one of the pages is just us imitating Quinn's initial pose.
I support it.
The OG dark corner and then all the subsequent dark corners. David, what would be in Saval's dark corner?
Oh God, I don't even know. I'd have to think about that. I don't even know if I want to know, to be honest. But he's got some demons.
That
Secrets.
sounds like a cop out, sir.
Yeah, he's got some demons.
A
Yeah,
warlock would
no,
do
I
that.
Don't we all?
No.
No, I'm just fucking with you, man. I don't. But we'll
No, it's
come
definitely
back to you.
ASMR. It's definitely ASMR, of course.
So just like the Lego bricks falling.
Oh, Lego bricks, all sorts of sounds. I mean, that's all that goes on in his head is just tons of noise and sound anyway.
It's just noise all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We will move it over to Joseph. Joseph,
Yeah, this
lots
is Joseph.
going on. Lots going on, man. Lots
Not-
going on.
I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know. It feels like a little bit of an inquisition, but Joseph is playing. I was told Ryland at the moment, and I think he is a paladin. He knows a little bit of it, I think.
I need to give you a shout out, man, for being so flexible with letting me fuck with your character. I have a lot of fun with it, so I appreciate that.
I've been
let's
waiting
move
for you
it
to
on
really do it. It's been this has been so long.
Oh, wait.
God, is it going to
It's
get
coming.
worse?
It's coming. Let's drop down to Jeff. Jeff, Mr. Nib, how are you?
Is that a height joke? Drop down to nib because I'm a halfling.
Ooh.
Also with the
Just
grounded
it was
too.
this.
Also, yeah, I
And
did-
grounded.
I let that one go last time, but
Get in the corner.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I play Nib, Mr. Nib Quill Dipper. He's a halfling bard. He's a storyteller and a historian, and he's trying to keep these chuckle fucks on task, and it is really getting hard.
I'm here today with all these chuckle fucks.
Yep.
After he calls you chuckle fucks, there's this big door on the dark corner,
Yeah.
and it's a fake door. And then below it is like the small mouse door, and Nib opens that smaller door and walks into his corner. Let's move over to, again, it's just based off of where you guys are on the screen. It's not all lined up. Let's move over to Alex.
Hey,
Alex.
I'm Alex. Yeah, I play Quinn, Ranger, Gloomstalker Ranger, Elf. Yeah, I want answers.
A high elf. Don't hide that part. That's important.
Yeah, I guess high elf. It just sounds so hoity-toity.
Quinn hangs out in the woods. We all know she's high.
Yeah, she knows how to
Smoking the
forage.
grass.
Where's the mushrooms?
You ever hunted on ayahuasca?
Listen, she's a little high strung. I think Quinn could do with some chill grass in that pipe.
And last but not least, we all know what he's going to say, but we love him for it. Sam, welcome to the show.
You ever hunted on ayahuasca?
Where is it?
Have you, sports fans? What's up? I'm Sam.
There we go.
I play Xhenrak Benj Ares, the purple dragon, gem dragonborn, way of the ascendant dragon monk. And you know what corner he's in. but I'm
On
not
the
going to tell
roof,
you.
Last I knew.
Maybe there's a corner
what
up there in that room.
What corner is he in? What corner is he in, Sam?
Like I said, you know what corner he's in.
Now
But I'm
that's
not
a
gonna tell you.
cop-out.
You'll just have to come along on this journey and find out with us.
Good Lord.
It's always fun.
So we didn't really
totally
talk about.
tanking whatever Nate's trying to talk about by making him laugh fully away from the mic.
Yeah, whenever there's an awkward silence in the podcast, it's just because Nate's laughing too hard.
I mean, I enjoy listening to what you guys come up with as much as I enjoy fucking with you guys. So I mean, it's a win-win. I throw you guys into crazy, impossible situations, and then I laugh as you try and get out of them. It's a good time. Fun had by all. All right. Yeah. Are we diving right in this week?
Let's do it.
Seems like we've got a lot on our
Let's do
plate.
something.
Let's
Yeah.
do something. How
Do a
about
thing.
what our favorite Nick Cage?
I actually want to change my answer. Earlier, I said pig, and that's an artsy fartsy answer. But honestly, truly, in my heart of hearts, it's Wicker Man.
All right. Okay, let's go down the line with that. Speed round. Sam, favorite Nick Cage movie?
I could say something reasonable, like National Treasure.
No.
I could say a million things because Nick Cage has done a million things. But because of its sheer entertainment value that I get from it, both watching it and going, what the fuck is happening?
Don't say
And talking to other people about it, it's gotta be Willy's Wonderland.
That was a Freudian slip.
Five Nights at Willy's Wonderland, that one.
Yeah, that one. Right.
Joseph, what about you?
Who's Nick Cage?
All right, we are recasting Ryland. You can email us.
He's being recast with Nick Cage, actually.
Yeah.
funnily enough.
He didn't like Nick
I would take
Cage, so
that
we have to
spot. I'll go
replace him at onlydarkcorners.com.
I go sit in my Nick Cage corner. No, we touched on it. I really like Next. Next was fun.
Next is good.
Nice.
What about you, Jeff?
Look, I'm old, and I've enjoyed him in a lot of different things. I think he's really good, but you get exactly what you're going to say. But I've got to go with the original one, Raising Arizona.
Oh, so
Nice.
good. Great
He's
answer.
not top. Although I want to give a shout out to Hugo in our chat who called out Superman.
Yes,
I love
yes.
that. That's a fan in there that knows that.
Those
one.
look good.
What about you, David?
I would have to say Con Air, but that's because of Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
He played a really good role in that, and
Yeah.
yeah. Otherwise, I would
Sorry,
have to say
guys,
Ghost
what's-
Rider. Ghost Rider's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah.
He did that.
What's your favorite Steve
Con
Buscemi
Air and The
movie?
Rock. If you look at both of them, and if you look at the casting in both of them, you're like, how are these movies so bad?
But The Rock is so good.
It is terrible.
Never mind, we're not replacing Joseph. We're replacing Jeff. The Rock is like one of the best movies of all time.
Oddly enough, also being replaced by Nick Cage.
He's got range.
All right.
He can do it.
So for me, man, I can't believe you just insulted The Rock. Oh, my heart, man, my heart. Is it on this side or that side? I forget. No, so I'm gonna over explain a little bit. So I look at Nick Cage very similarly the same way I look at Christopher Walken. And what I mean by that is in the beginning of their career, they like had a way about them. And then Saturday Night Live, stand-up comedians, and then eventually social media started to build these caricatures of Christopher Walken and Nicolas Cage.
Mhm.
And they were like their quips and their quirks, but exaggerated. Like we all know what caricatures are. But Christopher Walken and Nicolas Cage both embraced this over exaggeration of who they were, and then they started to become those in the movies they did. So I really look at Nicolas Cage as having two separate eras, and one is like trying to be serious Nick Cage, and then the other is like, fuck it, I'm Nick Cage. Trying to be serious Nick Cage, you know, I mentioned 8mm in the pre-show, and it's a solid movie, but I have to go with The Rock. I can watch that movie
twist.
front to back. You know, losers try their best, winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Like it's such a quotable movie. And the opening scene when like he's like, who would bring a kid into this world? And she's like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, awesome. And she's like, well, what about what you just said? He goes, well, that like so much has happened since then. Like,
Yeah.
he's so good. Post ridiculous Nick Cage is absolutely the massive weight of. I said it in pre-show that movie, incredible, the unbearable weight of massive talent or something like that.
Something
the one
like
with
that.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
I will
Nick
say
Cage could play in that movie.
The impossible weight of massive talent, or whatever the actual name is.
Yeah.
That's definitely my actual answer. Willy's Wonderland holds a special place in my heart, but it's
the unbearable weight of massive talent. Yeah.
That's the one.
And you've got Pedro Pascal in there, and then there's like new Nick Cage arguing with like hallucinating old Nick Cage in the car. Like if you haven't, and like what is it? Pascal's like a drug lord that hires Nicolas Cage to come make a Nicolas Cage movie on his island. Like it's so like it's like Nick Cage Inception.
So my backup
so
character is
good.
actually Nick Cage and Christopher Walken's child. So we'll see how that goes.
Isn't that John Malkovich?
Okay, we need to kill
you gotta kill him.
Xhenrak.
I'm gonna kill Xhenrak this episode. I'm glad that Alex and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
We're all there.
I'm with you.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
I feel
Go
like
to
if you have this
Speaking of-
weird hybrid between those two, you get John Malkovich.
Oh my god. That's so
Never mind.
accurate.
Right?
Never mind.
All right. Next week's episode is favorite John Malkovich movies. But for now, we have rambled a
I'm gonna
lot.
cheat.
Let's play some D&D.
Let's do.
I thought this was how you
Sam, it's on you,
I'm
man.
on it.
Maybe.
Transition.
Get it, girl.
On last week's episode, some shit went down, some time got jumbled, and a skeletal man on a skeletal horse approached you guys from the direction that was Greyfen. And we ended the episode with him taking his hat off and revealing himself to you guys. And he looks down at you and just, what's so funny?
Because Alex
There's a
laughed at
corner
you
for
him
that.
revealing himself. That's-
You're all degenerates. Also, I was about to say, is he showing us his boner?
oh,
Oh my God. He just said revealing himself. How could I not?
well,
I was set up so perfectly for that.
We're such children. That was like someone said duty level of dumb.
yeah.
I want the audio listeners to know that I'm just kind of sitting here shaking my head.
Mm.
Like my middle schoolers said something they weren't supposed to, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this. Revealing his identity, you perverted motherfuckers. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that because it gave me some time to think of what he was going to say.
You're welcome.
That's what Nate counts on us for is being middle schoolers so we can think of what's next.
Yeah, it's all a magic show. It's like it's misdirection. Like everyone listens to you so I can think of what to say next. We're working in tandem with each other. No. So he looks down and looks at you guys. And he says, the cult is messing with the timeline. They're trying to prevent you guys from stopping them. The prophet is trying to prevent them from doing it, but clearly he is failing. Have you guys seen the deer?
Is that a
The one with
code?
the one with the weird antler?
Yes. Okay, good. Did you see him while the cave was open or after the cave was destroyed?
Well, first we saw him dead in the tavern and stuffed. And then we saw him.
Yeah, we've communicated since you guys left Greyfen. Have you seen him since?
Yes.
I need to know if he is in this timeline or if he is in the timeline previous.
I think he's in the
Or
other
I guess
one.
post. All right. So he's trying to sew things back together. Okay. You guys need to get into that cave. And then after he says cave, the glitching happens again really quick. And you see Eldric, as he was before, sitting on his horse, and the cave is opened again. And he kind of looks.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I had to.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I need that because I can't do voices. I start off with a voice and then it just sounds like me after a couple sentences. No, okay, all right. We're back. He's tying them back together. He is going to be communicating with you guys relatively soon. He is the one that sent you on this quest.
Is he the
Mission?
prophet?
He's what?
The prophet, you said?
He is setting things in motion. I'm guessing you guys don't quite know what's going on yet, do you?
Not quite. We're like
You could say
98%
kinda.
there. By which I mean,
Yeah, why don't you tell me what you got and I'll fill the rest in.
let me get my red
Yeah, man.
string out and I can show you. Start-
Hold on. Come back into the cave. There's a board.
There's a board.
Tell us what you know.
Wait, do we need to get into the cave before it disappears again? Like right now? Or are you saying
We were glitching, so we should be fine for the moment.
okay?
Fingers
Sorry.
crossed.
Just real quick,
Um,
we're having this conversation with Bones. You
No, he's full flesh now. You're back
We're back
to
in the
where
past.
you walk. You're back on the timeline where you walked through the town.
so we're having the same conversation with two different timelines.
Correct.
Is that I'm okay? Eldric,
Are you asking me this as the DM, or is Xhenrak asking Eldric this?
Eldric, we're talking to you. That was Bones a second ago, and now you are not. So that on purpose? How's that work?
I exist between the timelines. I am more of a purveyor, I suppose you could say. I am simultaneously of this world and not of this world. And it is my job to make sure that the cult is impeded as they were in this time before.
Cool. So you're an ally of ours then?
I'm more of a
'Cause
neutral party.
I mean, we're trying to do that too, right? So
My question is, are you trying to make sure that the near catastrophe that happened, well, now, I guess, since we're back then now, does it still have to happen that way? Or are we trying to correct it to make sure that didn't actually happen and therefore we change how
What-
the future happens?
What do you know of the Sundering?
It was bad.
The common lore tells us that something went wrong with a ritual that the cult was trying to do, and it was not successful, but there was a release of massive power that Cindercrawl became uninhabitable, and the Elven nation was shattered into little islands and stuff, and probably a bunch of other things that isn't talked about, or at least not commonly known. But fundamentally, that's what is known. But if you guys are outside of things and you're meddling and trying to make sure causality happens, my question to you is, are you here to ensure that that happens the way it did happen, or are you here to have a second chance at stopping that ritual from happening entirely?
It already happened the way it did happen.
Right.
Is it happening in both places like you are? Is it like the sundering is taking place in multiple times or across a span of 250 years?
Do any of you know how the tieflings were thwarted in their attempt?
Weapons?
I'm sure weapons were involved. He's not a quick one, is he?
I have
I
a
feel like
9
he's-
intelligence.
I feel like he's good with words.
I am very wise, but not very smart.
Are you
He
saying the
says-
sundering?
Why don't you
always has
tell
been?
us what you think we need to know?
So, what was that? That sounded key.
Are you saying the sundering is something that's always been, or something that has always happened and will always happen?
It's something that needs to happen the way that it did. Are you aware of how time works,
Yeah.
young warlock?
I have theories. I wouldn't say I know for sure. I've read texts in my old home, but that's all speculatory journalism from crazy wizards.
There was a party of 5 individuals that stopped the tiefling cult, and they stopped it in such a way that they were too late, and that is why the catastrophe still happened, but the demon inherently was not summoned. This may sound counterproductive, but in order to stop it from happening completely, that needs to happen again.
Can I ask if that adventuring party was us?
Spoilers.
That is not information that I can give you at this time.
Says who?
Okay.
Fair enough.
Who says that? Why?
2
I
mallards.
think
So Rylan said why?
Mhm.
He reaches forward and puts a hand on Rylan's shoulder. As soon as Eldric's hand touches the shoulder, visions of the past start to flicker in your mind. And the first thing that you see is the explosion that happened on Cindercrawl that blew you off of the island and ultimately killed your brother. And then that flashes away really quick. And then the next thing that you see is you and your brother off hunting, and off in the distance you see the same large explosion, and it kind of fractures the sky and before you can really piece together what it means, it breaks away again into another memory. And now you are sitting there and you're on a boat, and you know in your mind that you are sailing to go meet up with your brother. And as you are sailing on this voyage, the explosion happens once again, and the sky fractures, and then it goes to another scene, And now the memory, you are in a dark cave and you are laying on the ground and you look up and you see a demonic tiefling there as though he is about to perform a ritual. And then Eldric takes his hand off of your shoulder.
I wonder why he's crying.
In order to keep it in order to keep continuity, what you heard will have you be frightened and a little unnerved, but you will be warned not to share it with anybody else.
I go sit in a dark corner.
Are you okay? Well, so you just walk off mid-convo?
Mm-hmm. Well, he puts his hand on my shoulder and then I walk.
As you go to say okay, Eldritch communicates with you through telepathy, and he says, unfortunately, yeah, you, Xhenrak, sorry. Unfortunately, the information that I just shared with him, I can only share with him because he is the only person of your group that organically exists in this timeline. If I shared that information with any of you, it could be catastrophic to the point that it causes your mission to fail.
Right. None of us want to fuck our own grandfathers. I get it. But listen, I'm just concerned for my friend. You said something that clearly upset him. That's all.
I did not say anything to him. I simply showed him.
Okay. And now he's making weird noises.
To be clear, basically we need to let things happen as they happened in order for things to move forward.
You 5 need to continue on your journey, which as I said, you need to get into that cave. I don't know how much longer the Prophet can hold the timeline, and without and you see him kind of think, you will not be affected by the timeline shift from within the cave. So as long as the Prophet can hold it long enough for you to get in there, you will be there in this timeline. And hopefully he has things back under control by the time you go to leave.
Can you tell us who the Prophet is?
It's not my place to do so.
Are you
But you will meet him soon.
Are you going to come in the cave with us? I assume not.
It unfortunately, not being of this world or even of the timelines, it's not something I'm capable of doing. There's only so many places I can follow. In fact, you saw me in my other form, which I'm really not fond of, but it's part of the job. But if you go back to Greyfen while in the previous timeline, you will see a much different place. And if, in fact, you need to go back there, just be careful of the book.
Joke's on you, I don't read.
Wait, what book? What are we talking about?
I'm sorry. Anybody? Am I the only one who heard that? Was it?
No. I was just living in the moment, but
Okay, I'm sorry.
it's a good one.
I can keep going.
He's just trying to cope in his corner right now. He's talking to himself.
But I don't read.
What's the book?
Again, asking me questions I can't answer.
We're
So-
gonna need a little
so-
bit more to go on here.
All you're telling us is we go in the cave and then what? What do we do?
Save the world.
Save the book, save the world.
I'd like to just sort of walk up.
I'm so happy at least one of you got that reference. Thank you so much.
It's heroes, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
save the cheerleader, save the
Yeah,
world.
Yeah.
I'd like to walk up to Eldric here.
Okay.
And just sort of like, I'm trying to get a read on him. Like I get close. I'm like observing his face, and I go, "Can we trust you? Do you have our interests at heart?"
I have the world's interest at heart. I can only tell you so much as your journey has only just begun. And while the prophet in all of the power available to him is ultimately what is keeping you safe, you were ultimately sent here to your death. And he points down to the dirt and kind of does like a swiping motion with his hand, trying to signal you guys to like go and like brush away the pathway a little bit. And where he's pointing is about where the bell and the ribbon had fallen to the ground.
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, I look for a grave marker.
You see no grave marker.
You fucking buried us just in the dirt. Like, come on. We don't even get a rock.
And we probably get a cave.
Did we turn it to ash?
That's-
Maybe. Almost like a sand material.
He was
Quinn at this point. Give you a sand material.
Nice.
You mean
Oh,
like
the
sand?
callback. No, like little
he was-
crystals.
He was signaling or gesturing for you to kind of like brush stuff away.
Hmm.
That's why he was making the brushing.
Brush it off.
I'm just gonna take a few steps back and Fusro Dab the ground away.
Ooh, I like that. That's creative. All right. As you blow the ground away, you see kind of out of the dirt a little bit what looks like bones.
Well, this is seriously fucked up.
So what? How much can I tell you? How much can I tell you?
Is Eldric still on his horse?
No, he got off his horse. He's standing on the ground.
Quinn's gonna actually walk right up to him and punch him in the face.
You're gonna punch Eldric?
Yep.
Okay. Your hand goes through him.
And then she's gonna turn around and walk towards the mouth of the cave.
Okay. Hold on. Did we lose Sam?
It looks like he might have,
I think you turned his camera
or at least
off.
his camera off.
Yeah, he had to walk away for a second.
There he is.
There he is.
He's back.
Sorry, that was just the third time that I'd gotten a call from the same person. I thought it might be important. It wasn't.
Oh.
They didn't get my response.
No, you're fine. It happens. It happens. All right. So Quinn, go. Did you hear what happened?
Yes.
So Quinn's walking off to the cave. And he's like, I'm not of your timelines. I understand your ranger's frustration, but
Sorry.
use the mute button on the browser.
When you're choking, it's
That's fair. I'll give you that. It's like, I'm not of your timelines. Your friend who seems to still be recovering over there, he also exists between multiple timelines, which is why I was able to place my hand on his, and again, why I could not share the same information with you as I did him. But
Are you telling me
otherwise,
I could punch you?
I would ask that you don't.
Where is Ryland at this point? Is he near the cave?
He's in a dark corner.
I'm only
So-
I'm only here to try to help.
I think like I understand your conundrum a little bit. And anytime anybody tells stories about where these kinds of things happen, you got the two mallard thing that you got to watch for, and this is the time that we're supposed to act in the past for us. Yes,
this time that you are in right now is a different time than you were in when you first met me in the town. It is the same time,
same era, but a different time.
No, it is quite literally the same time.
Okay.
It is a different. Oh, prophet, forgive me. It is a different plane. The plane in which you were originally put here on was quite literally only designed to kill you. And
that's why
you guys felt a little bit of wind, right? Yeah. So that's what the time glitching back and forth was. It was the prophet trying to pull you out of that. We don't know who, but there is somebody in your previous timeline that is trying to recreate what happened, but in a more successful manner.
Right.
And somehow I can't tell you more. You have to wait for the prophet. Okay. But just know that you were sent on a suicide mission because somebody was able to observe the timeline and they were trying to put an end to the cycle. And while
I'm going to kill those fucking elves.
When he said suicide mission, just real quick, I got up and started to follow Quinn into the cave and ignored them.
Okay.
I just want to be clear, because this is a lot to take it. Are you saying these bones are our bones? I feel like everyone's kind of not seeming to say any. Are those our bones you're saying?
While he's been talking, I'm trying to dig up, presumably my own corpse.
Okay.
Can you give us a little bit more information here? Like
a couple of different things happening here. So, so Saval asked the question. Yes.
I need a little bit more proof that these are us.
Before he can get more of an answer, he notices Xhenrak going to physically touch and dig up, and he goes, "No, you can't. Don't touch them."
He sort of looks at him and then weighs his words. Goes, okay. Takes a few steps back. And he is just going to expend uses of a force breath weapon until he can see the corpses.
As you get to do that, you see him touch his temples, and he starts to not hum but not speak, very like a low, like indistinguishable mumble, which I'm not going to bother doing for the audio because it won't come through right. But and as he starts to mumble more, the wind starts to kind of pick up a little bit again, and it kind of swirls around the ground where the bones are, and then it continues to swirl around the ground where the bones were.
Did you just move my fucking body?
I didn't move your body. I communed with the prophet and ceased that timeline to exist. That timeline is not part of our timeline. It was created to trap you.
It's an oxbow. When a river, when part of a river diverts and goes off, and then it gets stoppered, and then it kind of seals itself up because of the thing, it creates a little thing off to the side of it, and it's not actually part of it, but the water was all part of the same stream, so it's all still the same, even though that part is separated out.
What he said.
I get it. I don't know how it's done or whatever like that, but the facts fit the thing, so I'm like, oh, okay, it's a metaphor. I get it.
There is an incredibly dark magic at play here. It is not at... I am not at liberty to discuss with you. And as a matter of fact, I really don't even have a full understanding of it myself. All I can tell you, and this comes directly from the prophet himself, is that you need to continue with the mission the way you were originally intending to complete it, because it is crucial that you do what you did before and don't allow the summoning to happen.
But you're talking about in our time that we grew up in. You're saying prevent the next one post-sundering.
I'm saying prevent the one that in your timeline happened 246 years ago.
Okay. So,
and I know that you can do it.
That is the key part. I was like, I get details, because if we have pre-knowledge, then we can decide to either follow it or not, and that can mess with the way things would have played out if we didn't know. I understand that part. I was just trying to figure out, because clearly some people want us to be then for us, and some people want us to be now for us. And I was trying to figure out which one we're meant to be in to actually do what needs to be done.
I understand your confusion, little nib.
Yeah.
No, so you were in a false timeline constructed to imprison you.
Okay.
That ultimately the 5 of you would have died in.
Right.
And with the exception of me, everybody that you encountered in that instance was a recreation. With the exception of one.
And that's why the bodies would just
What does Ryland look like right now?
Right now, Ryland looks like, God damn it! How does he say his name again?
Volunder.
Volunder. I will remember it at some point in time when you are permanently Ryland again. He looks like Volunder, and he's going to answer to Volunder. I'm sorry, Joseph, you're all over the place.
Even when we're seeing meat Eldric and not bones Eldric,
the meaty one and not the bony one.
Has he been like flicking in and out of between bones and meat Eldric, or has he been meat Eldric this entire time?
He has been meat Eldric this entire time. Okay. No, there was one flickering. Yeah. So Nib, so to go back to so you were on a false fight. Again, there was one connected to motherfucker.
Volunder.
Volunder.
Just point at
God,
me.
I keep on saying like Voldeer. Volunder.
Just think
I will.
Vol under a rock or something. I don't know.
Why would I? Volunder. In fact, the one that permeated I guess we'll call it a prison timeline, a capsulized timeline, was Volunder's brother, but I don't know how. And I tried to catch him before he left town, but either he ignored me or didn't see me. I'm still trying to figure that one out myself because there's a lot of other weird things going on.
That explains why I couldn't talk to him.
But the glitching that you experienced, that was the prophet saving the five of you.
Right.
He was pulling you out of what was essentially the entrapped timeline, and he was trying to get you placed correctly so you bounced back and forth between your timeline and the timeline you're presently in. And that's why I was saying I hope you got it settled down.
Okay.
So there's no more bouncing.
So everything that we experienced here before the windstorm was the trap timeline. And then at post windstorm and currently where we're standing and talking is in the one we're meant to be in.
Correct. You are presently in the year 246
In the 13th.
under the 13th coalesced moon.
Yes.
We're currently under the oh, right, because you're meat. Okay.
So we're going to be here for close to 4 years before the thing that we're here to do actually happens. Potentially.
Time, again, does not work quite the way you think it does.
We're going to skip across the surface of that water for a while till we get there. Like
Just
a thrown
getting
stone.
absolutely Jeremy Barrymede here.
That's fine. As now that we have the information that we should not be fighting being here to get back to where we came from.
Correct.
In our present.
Correct.
That makes this task so much easier you can't believe.
So Quinn is going to call from the mouth cave and be like, it doesn't matter, we're all fucking dead anyway, let's go.
I was going to say, it's not exactly the easiest thing. We're going to die.
Right.
Well, all but
you
one.
You actually live.
We were sent here to die by the bad
Listen,
guys.
You just fucking capsule corped our bodies. What do you mean?
No, that
was what would have happened if we hadn't been windstormed out of there.
I'm wise, not smart.
At least the little one gets it.
I write stories, so I know how a good author thinks. So yes, that would have happened if the prophet hadn't windstormed our bell and ribbon away from that timeline. Now we are where we were supposed to have been sent anyway. We got diverted. Now we're back on track. We are on the path. So now it's up to us whether we live or die. In that other place, the deck was stacked against us. We were going to die. We were going to fail. There was no way to win in that one. We were caught in a thing. Now we are outside on our feet, and it's up to us.
He asks like basically the same thing a couple more times, and eventually he gets through. And he just goes, okay, so there's a chance we don't die.
Well, there's a chance we aren't killed.
You didn't die in the past, so I have faith that you are not going to die this time.
Okay. I'm going to walk into that cave now. I don't like you. And then he walks into the cave.
I was waiting to see.
Actually, that's not true. He bends down and he touches the ground where he, like, let's say when he was shooting Fusser does at the ground. You could like just start to see his horn or something. And he puts his hand down where his body used to be, and he sort of closes his eyes for a second, and he'll say, Pirite privyet mele not miena. And then he'll stand up, and then he'll walk off into the cave.
Okay. Eldric is he's quiet in that moment and lets you say your piece. And as you walk away, he looks at Nib and Saval. Are you still kind of standing there?
Yeah, I'm still standing there.
Okay.
I think Saval's trying to take everything in.
Okay. He says, I've seen how this ends, at least up to the point that you guys call home. And as long as you employ each other's strengths, you will be fine. And I will see you again in 250 years. And he puts his hat on and, does the thing with the horse reins. And
suddenly it's sunset, and he rides off into it.
As he rides off, he rides east back toward Greyfen. And as you kind of look up to see him riding off, you see that the lights in Greyfen are back on. And it looks like an alive, bustling town. Or
so,
at least bustling small
trapped
village.
in weird pocket dimension. That was fun. How's everybody doing?
I mean, it's okay. So I was going to go into this cave and be like, fuck you all. I'm just going to go into a cave. But should we make camp right here and decompress for the night?
I think we should
I think
make
that
camp
would
in
be
the
wise.
cave.
I think it'd be safest for us to make camp in the cave. As much as I don't necessarily want to, I think we need to make camp in the cave.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go into the cave 150, 200 feet, make a camp.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You go into the cave. You set up your camp.
Xhenrak's going to
Seems-
grab a log, like a fresh log, and bring it with him. And then we go into the middle. And when he goes to start the fire, he'll just take a deep breath and let it out, and then punch the log like 40 times. And every time you see his hands hit the log, you see sparks, and eventually he stops and breathing heavy. And he'll just put the log in the middle of the fireplace, and there's a fire.
Very cool.
You okay,
All right,
bud?
you guys.
I'm doing fine.
I rub my hands together and kind of get a little scrunched up. And then I wiggle my fingers, and the fire that he just created starts to become some shapes of just some dancing merry folk as I use elementalism in front of him, trying to cheer him up a little bit.
I'm struggling to see who sent us into the trap. I mean, obviously it's the cult, but if it is the Elven Council, are they in concert with the cult, or is it simply
Or
just they were doing this externally?
I
Is
mean,
this why they couldn't give us information?
I mean,
I mean,
for
it
all we
wasn't
know,
a god.
it might have been the demon lord that they failed to summon last time, and they're about to try again for. I mean, who knows what kind of sources of information they have? And
Or
they
perhaps it was just they got the spell off at that place where everybody turned into sandcastles.
yeah. I don't know. It. So it sounds like the basic takeaway from all that is we just got put through the ringer, but we came out the other side, and now we're back on our feet. We will be contacted by a deer. I don't know about this deer, but a prophet of some sort, and given better instructions. But in the meantime, we stay alive, we stay together, and we do our damnedest to keep each other alive to get through this thing.
I think that's our only course of action.
As you guys are sitting down to kind of camp and relax and collect your thoughts, Saval, would you have gone through your bag at all?
I think Saval would actually have gone through his bag and started flipping through some of the books he might have brought with him, just to see
The
if there's
canteen?
anything.
Okay.
No, I would not touch that canteen with a 5-foot pole.
As you flip through the bag looking through things for things, you notice that the canteen's not there anymore.
Ignore it. Move on.
I don't know. It's kind of our MO. We are supposed to mess with water for about 30 minutes.
Nib, can I have my ribbon back?
Of course. I'm sorry. I had no intention of keeping it. We just kind of had interrupted.
I know there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
As you go to hand back the ribbon, and so like I'm just like untying it from the bell or whatever, you notice that the bell and the ribbon look as though they looked when you lost them.
Which makes sense. I carefully unravel it to make sure not to tear it or like give it anything like that. And I will run it between my fingers and whisper to it and cast prestidigitation so it comes out clean and crisp like it was new, and then pass it across to her.
And I'll just grab it and kind of hold on to it and just like prayer hands it, kind of.
Quinn, what is the significance of that ribbon to you?
So the ribbon belonged to someone that, in my opinion, was wrongfully killed.
I see you cared deeply for this ribbon. You were quite distraught when you lost it. What significance does it hold? If you don't mind my asking.
So there's a reason why I come off as maybe too distrusting. I grew up in a caravan. We traveled, and my parents sold holy artifacts that were tricks. They weren't real. It was a con. I was a teenager, I guess, when this happened. I wasn't really involved in the business. I like to stay outside of it. And this family comes up, farmers, clearly on hard times, and my mother sold them a tonic that was holy water from some god. I don't know who. It wasn't real. It was just stream water, right? But it was blessed by this god, she told them, and it would heal any wound. And this family had this little girl, 3 or 4, curly blonde hair, right? Adorable. And years later, when I left home, I was traveling and I saw a horse running free down a path in the woods. I caught the horse, figured it had gotten loose from a farm, found the nearest farm. And this little girl, who was now older, but same curly mop of hair, I guess her father had been trying to teach her to ride this horse. The horse threw her. She hit her head. The mother had run inside, and rather than running to find the nearest healer, she grabbed this tonic that my mother sold to her and was trying to feed it to the girl. And by the time I got closer, the girl was gone. The parents were devastated and confused, right? Because the tonic, it didn't work because it wasn't fucking real.
And so you
So
left.
this young girl, she died because of my family's lies. And this was her ribbon, and I keep it with me to remember that lies can fucking destroy lives. Even if you're just trying to make a buck, even if you're trying to support your own fucking family. I mean, the devastation of losing this innocent little girl. I mean, that's our fault. That's my fault, right? That's I watched it happen.
This is a tough burden.
So yeah, so
Thank you, Quinn. It's not easy to share things like that.
I mean, it's easy to lie though, right? It's easy to tell people easy words that just make things go away or make things happen, but it's so much harder to tell the truth. It's so much harder to be real.
I think you have some of my master's wisdom. He had a similar position on lies to you. Speaking of, shall we say, stories, Ryland, I need to ask you some questions.
So when she said the bit on lies, I instinctually just kind of rubbed my neck and cast the cantrip Mysterious Presence on myself in the background. And yeah, he's just a little bit more slightly fuzzy. For those on the audio podcast, that makes it harder for people to either insight me or perception me.
Quinn doesn't notice. Her perception is not making its rounds right now. She's very much in her memories.
I think Xhenrak's gaze is almost it's uncomfortable, if nothing else, because that is exactly what he's trying to do. He is using the full weight of his perception and just sort of watching your every move as he asks the question, what is your story? What is your blue ribbon?
I don't have a blue ribbon. I've said what I've known, and there's so many memories at this point. I don't remember what's now, what's been. I couldn't write a story if I had a red string at this point. What do you want?
Well, then tell me a piece of it. Tell me the beginning.
It was just my brother and I, and we came to Cindercrawl, and he protected all of us. And I don't know where he is right now. I don't know if he is.
Did you see him die?
So DM, I have a jumble of memories at this point, right? I still,
Correct.
yeah.
As you are trying, borderline struggling to recall memories, and memories of you and Rygor on Cindercrawl, memories of any adventures that you may or may not have gone on together, because everything is a mess right now.
Mm-hmm.
There is one distinct memory / vision that pops into your head that is a tall, cloaked figure with his arms outstretched, and he is chanting, and you are on the ground and you are struggling to reach for your weapon. And in this vision, you tried incredibly hard to stop this figure from doing whatever it was they're doing. And the chanting gets louder and louder. And as it gets louder, you can hear it more clearly. And you do not understand the words that are being said, but using this vision with the knowledge that you have, you can tell that, to the best of your understanding, it is the same, if not incredibly similar to, language that you guys heard at the recessed circular area. And as the chanting gets louder and his hands start to glow further and further, and there's a ritual circle in front of him that starts to glow, you see almost the ground opening up. And outside of where that ground opens up, you start to see the fingertips of a red-fleshed demon stick its hand out from under the ground. And as the hand starts to break the surface of the ground, you hear a very familiar war cry come from behind you. And before you realize it, Rygor is jumping over you and charging at this hooded, cloaked being. And he takes his sword and impales it through the creature. And as he does, he throws his head back, and the creature, not Rygor, throws his head back and screams. And as his mouth opens to scream, red light flows out of his mouth into the enclosure that you are in. And as it does, the circle on the ground ceases to exist. It cuts off. And the fingertips of the demon were severed when it closed, and they start to rumble and glow themselves. And the last thing you remember is Rygor turning back to you and saying, "I love you." And then there's a large red explosion. Thanks for listening to this episode of Rollin' on D20s. We're glad you spent part of your day with us in the dark corners of our world. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to follow us on social media and stay up to date on new episodes, behind-the-scenes content, and all the chaos in between. If you'd like to support the show, you can find all the ways to do that over at onlydarkcorners.com. Until next time, keep your dice rolling and watch the shadows.